Welcome to Student Live, Student Voices, an original production of HC Broadcasting. We're here to explore what matters to young people and those who care about them. Today's episode is brought to you by Joseph Financial Partners. Welcome to Episode 4 of Student Live, Student Voices for Season 2. There's been a slight change in our content for this episode. Monday is October 7th and the last day to register to vote for the November There's been a slight change in our content for this episode. Monday is October 7th and the last day to register to vote for the November 5th, 2024 general election. At Student Lives, we felt some urgency in making sure that our first-time voters had accurate information to register and to vote in the upcoming election. We reached out to the staff of Gillespie County's Election Office to provide accurate information for first-time voters, voters with disabilities, and new voters entering the military. We hope these segments answer key questions raised by our listeners and staff. Also, HC Broadcasting has partnered with the Gillespie County Election Office over the summer and fall to provide regular public service announcements on our AM and FM stations that cover key voting information. We will continue to run these up to the election. We've included a couple of the PSAs in this episode as well. Student correspondent and producer Bella developed questions for our election office interview. Student correspondent Bo interviewed a young man entering the military who had questions about voting, especially while in boot camp. We hope this episode answers his questions. Moderator Trish conducted the interviews with the election staff. In this first segment, Student Lives meets with the election administrator for Gillespie County, Jim Riley. We meet at the election office at 95 Frederick Road in Fredericksburg for all three interviews. Jim Riley is our elections administrator for Gillespie County, and he and his staff are joining us today just to answer some Q&As around voting on three different topics. First-time voters, voters going into the military, and voters with disabilities.
Okay.
For first-time voters, what are the most important things that first-time voters should know before heading to the polls?
They need to have the proper identification, which is pretty simple. There's 7 different official photo IDs, and that's the number one requirement. If they got a copy of their yellow voter's registration card from us, they're welcome to bring it, but the photo ID is the key. Be informed, read up on the different candidates so that you can proceed. The ballot is a long one, so you need to be ready.
Can you walk us through the registration process for new voters?
New voters that might move into the county that change their address on their driver's license, that's almost automatic. The easiest and most accurate is to come by the office, fill out a simple form, and if you've got a few minutes, we usually are able to print your voter ID card right there. So, they have until October 7th to be able to vote for this election.
So, and that would be especially good for people who are just turning 18 or who have turned 18, and this is truly a first-time vote for them, is to come in person, and that's at 95 Frederick Road.
And we love that. You need to know everything you can about voting.
What resources are available for first-time voters who have questions or need assistance?
The websites for the different parties will give you information on candidates. We do not generate any of that here. The League of Women Voters provides a voter guide. Some of the parties and candidates will. You've got to do your research, but it's out there. I know that the parties put their candidates up on their websites.
And then also, if they have questions about voting, they can go to their county webpage, their county's webpage for specifically voting information.
Or there's a website called vote.gov, and if that doesn't do it, pick up the phone and call us.
Are there common misconceptions that first-time voters have about the voting process?
Yes, that it's not safe. And it is. Procedure here is very well documented. And the second is, I'm not even going to vote because my vote doesn't count. And I fully believe that every vote counts. Every one of us has a good friend who votes opposite us. Mm-hmm. You would think that negates things. No, if they vote and you vote, your votes count. Mm-hmm. And it is the collective vote that makes the difference. So start as young as you can and vote every election. And let your voice be heard. It is heard.
And it's especially important not only in these national elections, but in local elections, because there the votes make a huge difference. Just one vote.
The turnout's usually lower. Your one is a bigger one in those, maybe. But yes, you definitely want to vote the local elections.
So how can first-time voters prepare for what to expect on Election Day?
It's exciting. It's exciting. We hope that each of our precincts is a kind of fun location. There's a buzz, there's a hum, and you're not the only nervous person. There are voters that have voted every election that are just as nervous as you. Just come in ready to take it on and know that there are people there to help you get over that nerve.
So after you voted, where do you find out the election results during the night?
Election results are posted on the county's website. They're posted on the vote.gov website. They're posted on the Secretary of State's website. Our totals should be done before 10 o'clock in this county, or come up to Central Count after 7 and come in and watch the vote totals come in. And that's at 95 Frederick. That TV, just FYI, that TV is set up. And as we add the votes, it's not like a ticker where you see that, but you'll see the new votes and you're able to keep up with it.
Oh, how
it's
cool.
It's one of our safeguards, because when you print that strip out, did you see the paper? Mm-hmm, okay, mm-hmm. That big article they did, and I'm holding up a strip of paper. Mm-hmm. Okay, that strip of paper is printed in 3s, and so the judge has a copy of it. The alternate judge, who's from a different party, in this county it's a Democrat, with the judge being a Republican, and I have a third copy that they bring to me. They are identical. If that TV screen doesn't show those numbers, we immediately would know something was wrong. And so the verifying of the vote is just ongoing until we get it. And then, of course, everything's unofficial.
Right, until it's certified.
Until it's certified.
That's right. So cool. I didn't know you could come down here and be a part
Absolutely.
of it. Absolutely.
The way it'll be set up is it'll be roped off over there. The judge will bring all their equipment. Some of it will go into our office, but they'll come in, they'll check in, they bring their chain of custody, they bring their ballots, they bring their reports. We check them over. It takes each judge about 15 minutes. And when they're done, you'll see we open their scanner, and we have a key that we take the lock off of it, the zip tie or whatever we use for that, and it verifies on the chain of custody that's the right one. But then we open that up, we open a little door, pull out the V drive, and then we have this silly thing we do. And you saw a picture of it. The bottom picture on that page has Bill Briggs, has a pole with a basket on the end, and whoever takes it out here, and we have a central count judge and an alternate. Republican, Democrat. Sarah Fontenot's the Democrat. The guy in the picture is the judge. And they put it in there. It's carried over there like Statue of Liberty or something, and handed to the count team. And when that's then put in, it's put in a cabinet. The cabinets are in there. We don't have them set up. And so everything's done openly and in public. And then once that goes in and is brought up, it will populate immediately.
Wow.
And it will populate for that precinct. And then Lindsey Brown, the county clerk, runs that for us with the IT director for the county. We got the best run in that. And so any problem with the computer, he's immediately able to say, wait, there's the right button, and get it. And so at the end of the night, we're able to print out by precinct what totals are. Once all of that's done, then we pull out a different computer, and Lindsay will sit there and read to me the numbers. And now I'm connected to the Secretary of State, and I'm putting them in. We get done, and then I read them back to her, and she checks it, and then we do an upload, and those unofficial totals then are in. So it's kind of fun to watch. We'll have chairs all set out here for people to sit.
That's so cool.
No cameras in that, but
right.
Otherwise, yeah.
Very cool. Oh, I love that. Okay, that was it for my first-time voters.
Okay.
We'll be back with more Student Lives, Student Voices after this. In this second segment of Student Lives, Student Voices, we talked to Gillespie County Election Staff member David Ewing about how voters of all ages with disabilities can vote. At the end, we're inserting our PSA on key dates coming up. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm super.
Good. What you got? What's your questions? Oh,
So I've got voters with disabilities. I have like 5 questions.
Okay.
What resources and accommodations are available for voters with disabilities in Gillespie County?
okay. Well, we have the duo voting system where they can vote at their own pace. A pad that they're able to navigate with their hands, and it has Braille as well for vision problems, and it also has in Spanish as well. Through a headphone system, and so you can vote on the different races, and it's pretty self-explanatory.
How does the election department ensure accessibility at polling places?
So we have curbside voting. A person drives up to the designated spot, which is marked by a sign. There's a phone number on there that they call into us, and then we go out with all the information that's needed to check them in, and we come back in and get their ballots and bring them to them. They still have a choice of ballots like everyone else does, and then we stand a little bit away from their car and let them vote in privacy. At that point, they need to get the ballot back into us, to the box, the drop box, the scanner. So they can either have a designated person that maybe has driven them there, or if they don't mind, we'll take it in for them too and put it in, and we'll come back and tell them that everything went right. With the scanner operates, there's a chance for it to spit out if you left too many blank, if you want to have a chance to correct it. And so we ask them not to leave before that's been okayed, but it's their choice if they want to get it in with a carrier of their own, or we do it ourselves.
So there's 2 ways they can, if they're able to and want to come in to the actual voting location, they've got that really cool voting
Yes.
pad. And then if they are unable to or choose not to for disability reasons, they can actually have curbside options.
Correct.
Sweet. Are there options for voters with disabilities to vote by mail or through other methods?
Yes, there are. Voting by disability are one of the reasons that you could vote ballot by mail as an age or if you're out of town. So yes, we honor that.
Cool. And the date to getting that in is October 25th.
Yes, ma'am.
What should voters with disabilities know about their rights during the voting process?
They are afforded the same courtesy and availability, accessibility as anyone else, and we will do everything we can to make sure that their voting experience is successful and secure. If a person comes in that needs to use the duo machine we spoke of, it is surrounded by a wall like any other voting booth. It's not out in the way where anyone can see what they've done. So we make every opportunity available to them to vote securely.
Excellent. And how can individuals with disabilities provide feedback on their voting experience to improve accessibility?
They can. They're welcome to let us know personally here at voting. Our judges are accessible. There's also, if they have a complaint, there's a complaint website and phone number and website that everyone is available to use.
Very cool. Is there anything else voters with disabilities should know about?
Come on, we're ready for you, and we want you to vote, and we want to make it easy and fun.
Excellent.
Fun to vote, yeah.
That's what's come out on all 3 of the conversations. I love that it's supposed to be a fun experience, and it is. There's a buzz and excitement to getting to be a part of all of this.
Yes, there is. We have lots of interest, and so many people are checking and seeing. If they are registered, there's a lot of interest, and we want to help you and to be a positive experience for you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. This is today's Election 101, What You May Not Know. These are key dates for the November election. Last day to register to vote is October 7, 2024. Last day for ballot-by-mail applications to be accepted is October 25th. Early voting this year begins on October 21st. It will run through November 1st. And as in the past, the central location for early voting is 95 Frederick Road. This is the home of the election office. It's also north on Llano Street, across the street from Heritage Place. Official election day is Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. For more information, visit GillespieCounty.org. Election 101 PSAs are a public service of the Gillespie County Election Office and HC Broadcasting.
We'll be back right after these messages.
Ahoy, ahoy, it's Bo, your favorite Student Live Student Voices correspondent. As you all know, it's an election year. As someone that can't vote yet, I have to congratulate all you 18-year-olds. But how many new voters are there this year? According to circle.tus.edu, there are now 41 million Gen Zers that are able to cast a ballot this year. That's bigger than Canada's population. Last election, 50% of Americans between ages 18 and 29 voted, which was an 11% increase from 2016. Today I'm talking to my brother Sam about what it's like to be a new voter, and then we'll have a segment answering some of the questions he had. Everyone send him some late birthday wishes. Alright, welcome back, Sam. Today we are going to be talking voting. Sam, say hello, please.
What's up? How's it going?
Well, when did you turn 18?
July 19th.
That's 2 days before my birthday. I
know.
turned 16.
I wish you happy birthday and I gave you a rock. Yeah.
That means you can, I don't know, you're a legal adult now.
Well, I bought a
and
sword.
A law. Is that just like a thing you can do now?
Yeah.
So you turned 18 and you bought a sword?
Yeah, that was my first 18 plus purchase.
And now that you're 18, you're an adult in the eyes of the state. Now that you're 18, do you think you're going to end up voting at all? You know, election coming up.
I mean, probably. I don't know if I'll be able to, because I'll either be in basic training, or actually, what is voting, like November, right?
I don't know. I haven't done it before.
Me either. But more than likely, I'll probably be in basic training, and if I'm not, I'll be in my A school, which I may be able to. It's a possibility.
Well, if you can, do you think you will?
Probably.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do the other people in your house vote?
Yeah, they do.
Has voting ever been a big, like, debate kind of thing in your house?
Not really.
That's cool.
I mean, we don't talk a whole lot of politics.
I know a lot of families that do.
There's no reason to. At least I don't. I don't know if they do, but I don't.
Well, do you think it's important for people to vote?
Yeah. Why would it not be? It's the people who, make the decisions about every little thing we do. The people who basically control what happens to us, whether or not we go to war. It affects literally everything. You're stupid if you don't vote just because the options are bad. You vote for the one that is at least going to get you better than the other one.
Yeah. I mean, well said. Are you excited to vote? I mean, if you can't vote this time, are you excited to vote next time?
No, I feel like it's going to be a really stressful thing.
Yeah. Well, that's on you for now. I won't be able to vote until the next one.
Yeah. Have fun. As long as I keep my guns. What?
Right to bear arms.
Amen.
I know you've kind of already answered the question, but how do you think being able to vote really affects you, like personally?
Considering I, am owned by the government, the delayed entry program and all that, probably quite a lot, honestly, because, they've had me for a month. It will affect me, especially because, anything that the government does directly affects service members and delayed entry program members. So if there was a draft, I would be shipped out sooner than September 26th.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I'm the first one to go, not you. You're safe in a draft. I'm not.
Do you have any questions as a new voter about registering or anything like that?
Not exactly, really. I'll get to it when I get to it. It's something that I don't got to worry about for a little bit, so I'm just going to keep it on the back burner until I need to worry about it.
Do you have any advice for people turning 18 about, the new responsibility that they can have?
Be financially irresponsible, because I wasn't, and now I have a sword, which I guess was a good trade-off, but...
You mean financially responsible?
Yeah, that. Okay.
Be financially irresponsible. Spend all your money.
I was trying to say don't be financially irresponsible, and then I said I meant to say be responsible. And so
All right. Well, it was nice having you on here, Sam.
all right, thank you for having me.
It was very nice being able to talk to you.
No, it wasn't. It's a joke. Don't take that seriously.
Gillespie County Election Staff Member Alan Littman addresses questions about the voting process for members of the military.
Hi, Alan.
How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, ma'am.
Our intern put together these questions for voters going into the military. We actually had someone we interviewed. I'm a first-time voter, and I'm going into military, and I don't know if I can or what I can do. What specific options do military voters have to ensure their voices are heard while they're deployed?
Voters can send in a federal postcard application, that is an FPCA, and the application comes to us, we process it. There are a few different options. If they are active military or reserve or intend to return back to the country, they will receive a full ballot for the precinct that their domestic address is in. Those applications can be emailed to us, and then we can either mail or email them a FPCA ballot packet, and with that packet they will either fill out the ballot or print the PDF and fill out a PDF of a ballot, and then they have to physically mail back that packet to our office here, and then we hold that until election day, at which point our early voting ballot board will open those envelopes and count those ballots.
So the FPCA, is that something they can get off of their local county website where they would be voting in that precinct, or off a federal website or a military website?
Most websites will have it. So votetexas.gov will have it. Our Gillespie County website in the elections tab will also have it. And then you can search federal FPCA, and then they'll take you to the federal site, and they'll have it as well. And you can use a drop down to select your state.
So, and this maybe you just answered this too, is how can military members register to vote and request absentee ballots? It's actually a slightly different process. It's doing that, what you just described?
Yes, ma'am. So an FPCA, depending on the selection that they do, so military, when they choose that they're active military, that also acts as a voter registration. It's a 2-for-1.
Cool. What deadline should military voters be aware of to ensure their participation in elections?
October 25th is the deadline for this election. Now, those can be sent in. They're good for a calendar year. So as soon as January hits, they can send it in. It covers the whole year and all elections, depending on the type of FPCA they send in. But the deadline for this one is October 25th, which I believe is 10 days before the election. I think that sounds right.
I think that's. Are there any special considerations or accommodations for military families regarding voting?
Yes, the ability to use an FPCA and to transfer information back and forth by email. The domestic regular ballot by mail folks have to do everything by snail mail, and so FPCA lets them get stuff more reliably and quicker back and forth across the ocean or to different countries.
Cool. How and who can assist military voters with questions about the voting process?
They can call our office here. There are also FPCA liaisons. I've heard of some of those that they assist people on base, military members, with information regarding FPCAs, but those are kind of case by case.
Cool. And our phone number here is 830-997
6518.
6518. Cool. And is there anything else military voters or their families should be aware of related to voting?
I think that covers it.
Cool. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
If you'd like more information, go to 95 Frederick Road, Suite 100 to visit in person. The mailing address is P.O. Box 351 in Fredericksburg, Texas at 78624 for the election office. Phone 830-997-6518 if you have questions, or you can email elections@gillespiecounty.org.
This is today's Election 101, what you may not know. The Gillespie County website has all the information needed to help you vote in a November general election. You will find sample ballots, polling locations and times, and ballot by mail and voter applications, results from previous elections, and, after November 5th, the current results. Check out GillespieCounty.org for your voting HQ. Election 101 PSAs by a public service of the Gillespie County Election Office and HC Broadcasting.
If you or someone you know is struggling, please contact the National Crisis Helpline at 988 or contact your local mental health and developmental disabilities agency. In Gillespie County, you can call toll-free to 888-290-4777. For the Texas Agri-Stress Line for those working in the agricultural sector, call or text 833-897-2474. Thanks for joining us for Student Live, Student Voices, an original production of HC Broadcasting. Every Sunday, we explore what matters to young people and those who care about them. Today's episode was brought to you by Joseph Financial Partners. You can also catch past episodes on our YouTube channel, HC Broadcasting at the Voice of the Hill Country. Don't forget to subscribe and like.